Steph Curry, he agreed to a one-year $62.6 million extension with the Golden State Warriors. That's according to our Woj. Now, Curry is under contract through the 2026-27 season, which leads us to the obvious question that Steph, he was asked on the Today Show. Take a listen.
Are you going to retire a Golden State Warrior?
I hope so, for sure. I mean, I've been there going into my 16th year.
Yeah.
And I've always said it's a goal of mine to finish my career, with that organization that has seen me go through the ranks and accomplish amazing things with, Draymond. I know Clay's not with us anymore, but I want to keep winning, obviously.
Yes.
And I know, we have hopefully some days ahead still doing that. So definitely want to be there.
So it sounds like, Chiney, that if the Golden State Warriors are able to keep their heads above water here, Steph is in it for the long haul. But how confident are you that Golden State can do just that?
As long as Steph sounds just that confident, I'm cool with the Golden State Warriors' plan to really maximize on their prime. Now, the true thing is that the Warriors, they've already done the hard thing. They broke up their core. They broke up the pieces together that built that dynasty. But they did that for a reason, to be able to have the right pieces for the future, for the next, the contract, next 3 years for Steph Curry. But this is still a team that has a lot of issues, right? They're 15th in defensive rating. They're 9th in offensive rating. Now, they're still number 2, I believe, in three-point makes, which is largely because of Steph, and adding Buddy Hield helps to maintaining that consistency in their identity. But they're going to have to find other stars, or at least get star-like production from the supporting cast. That has been the hallmark for Golden State. What is it? Strength in numbers?
Absolutely.
This is my one caveat. He was playing in the Olympics. LeBron James had a teammate on that squad. Kevin Durant had a teammate on that squad. When we look at these generational icons that we've experienced the last generation, Steph, it's like, where's his guy? Who's that go-to? They have to establish whether it's the collective or it's something within the next 3 years, a player that can really push them back to championship contention.
Right, because for many, many years, it was the Splash Brothers. 1, 2, book it. Now, Klay Thompson is with the Dallas Mavericks. And when you look at this Warriors team as it's currently constructed, it's not hard to see them sort of fighting in that sort of play-in range. But because we expect so much of Golden State, that somehow doesn't feel good enough. So, Zach, do you think the days of maybe truly being title contenders, are they behind Steph and the Warriors here?
Probably. It's going to take a home run, a lightning strike, something like the Spurs got with drafting Kawhi Leonard toward the end of Tim Duncan's prime. Because this is what happens to great legends who stay with one team. You win a lot, and while you're winning a lot, you draft at the bottom of the first round, so you're probably not getting any stars there. And then the core gets old, and it's hard to transition from old to great again while the old guys are still in the league. And that's where the Warriors are. They're a good team. This is a good, deep team in the Western Conference. They could win a round. If things go right, they could even win 2 rounds. But they're not a contender. And you know what? That can be okay. It's not a reflection of Steph. It's not necessarily a reflection of mismanagement, though they'd surely like to have that James Wiseman pick back. And they'll look for stars, just like they look for Paul George. They look for Lauri Markkanen. They've got picks to trade. They're not dead yet, but it's going to take one home run lightning strike to get back toward the top. And if they don't do it, that's fine. There's a good honor in being a one-team legend on good teams for the rest of Steph's career.
Right. Path forward look like now that Golden State has Steph locked into this contract?
Well, Malik, I think the big question is Steph Curry content on just competing to get into the play-in every year? Certainly what happened last year and then losing to Sacramento. Because I think right now in early September, when you look at the Western Conference, there's probably 7 teams that are better than Golden State right now. And I think signing the extension eliminates the distraction, something that would have been asked upon in training camp as far as extending for another year, certainly with the deadline coming up here. But I'm not convinced, and certainly I think they're similar to where the Lakers are. They're a team that's good. They're a 45 to 46 win team, but we're not ready to put them up there in the top 4, top 5, unless maybe we get Andrew Wiggins back from 2022. Maybe the young players, Kuminga and Moody and Podziemski, take a huge jump in development this summer. And we won't know that until this season starts.
Well, Bobby, you can just come out here to LA, sit in my seat, and host the show, because you just segued us perfectly. Because Steph, he was on his media tour out in New York. It wasn't just the contract, Shanae, that he was asked about. We saw how fun it was, right? Steph and LeBron leading Team USA to gold in Paris. Well, since Bobby brought up the Lakers, Curry told People magazine, quote, hopefully there will be more experiences in the future. And this is what raised people's antenna. Even if we're teammates or not. Even if we are teammates or not, Bobby. So since the Olympics had everybody, I mean, including us here on the show before our break, talking about if we could see this in the NBA, now it seems Steph is maybe leaving the door open with those comments. Should these two team up in the NBA before it's all said and done? And how could that actually happen?
Yeah, I mean, look, LeBron James has a player option next year and can become a free agent. You know, I'm not looking at it, well, how can they get him and how can they sign him? He's made over $500 million in his career and probably over $1 billion career-wise, lifetime here. He could certainly opt out of his contract and go to Golden State and finish out his career for the next 2 years playing with Steph Curry and Draymond Green, and Golden State wouldn't have to give up anybody. He can go flat out there and sign outright here, and certainly that would be intriguing here. I don't see it from a trade perspective here, and I think that's going to be the interesting thing. If the Lakers are mediocre this year, will LeBron James force the issue to get out of Los Angeles next offseason?
See, to me, the big elephant in the room is how long will LeBron James want to play for? Because one thing I appreciate about both of these guys, Steph Curry and LeBron James, is no matter what you think about them, whatever else they accomplish, people believe that they're the best at what they do, the best shooter we've ever seen. And also, whether you love LeBron or hate him, you believe something completely about him. So when you look at this dynamic, being teammates or not, I mean, is he speculating for the next Olympics, or is he more talking about being teammates on the same squad? I don't know how long LeBron James will play for. Steph, again, you just said there's honor in maintaining one team. Like, can we see LeBron in a Golden State Warriors jersey? Can we see Steph in a Lakers jersey? Even though, I don't know if it was like the real internet that came up. Did Steph post himself with like, oh, I don't look bad with the Lakers?
The real internet.
I don't know if that was a real internet. I don't believe everything, but I saw a picture of him in a Lakers jersey, and he's like, that doesn't look bad.
Well, I feel like if we were going to see it happen, particularly the reporting around the last sort of trade deadline, Adrian Wojnarowski saying that maybe there was interest here, that these two teams had at least had some early contact, that's when we would have seen it.
But LeBron's on side quest notions right now. I think it was Snoop Dogg that said it. Like, he's accomplished so much. He's even accomplished playing with his own son. Yeah. Like, what else is out there?
And that's what's tough to walk away from, too. Zach, what do you think about this?
Well, first of all, the Steph-LeBron pick and roll in the Olympics, or the LeBron-Steph pick and roll, flip it around, it was awesome. We might see it again in an all-star game in the Western Conference. I'm not sure this is a realistic scenario in the NBA. LeBron's about to be 40. Like, how long is this going to continue to go on? This is not something we can speculate about happening 3 years from now. And yeah, he could go join the Warriors for the minimum if that's all he cared about. But I think there was some trepidation, at least around LeBron last year when the Warriors knocked on the door at the trade deadline about, do we really want to change teams again? Do we really want to chase a ring in another place again? Or has LeBron accomplished all that needs to be accomplished to cement his legacy? I think he wants to stay a Laker. But if that were to change and all he wanted to do was win, all he cared about was winning, there'd be situations better than Golden State to sign for the minimum. Why not sign with the Thunder for the minimum? Why not sign with the Sixers for the minimum? So it's nice to dream, and I will keep dreaming about that pick and roll that got Team USA over the finish line, that got Team USA past Wemby before Wemby leveled up at the end of the Olympics. So I'll keep dreaming, I guess.
So when it comes to Golden State Warriors, it does seem that they do have a greater plan in mind, because they are looking to actually go for gold and try to go all in on giving Steph Curry the super team that he finally needs. Now, when it comes to the Golden State Warriors, yes, LeBron may be in that picture, but some other names that have definitely been in conversation is none other than Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, as we all know, Giannis Antetokounmpo last season averaged 30.4, 11.5 reps, and also 6.5 assists. So he did a fantastic job for for none other than the Milwaukee Bucks, but the Milwaukee Bucks definitely struggled when it came to putting on an actual performance and making it to the NBA Finals. So they have failed once again, and Giannis wants to win an NBA championship now, and he has mentioned time and time again that the player that he most wants to play with in the future is none other than Stephen Curry himself. So it does seem that the Golden State Warriors are looking to go all in and get everyone they can to order to create a super team with LeBron, Steph, and maybe add Giannis in the mix. Now, for that to happen, there definitely would need to be some sign and trade deals definitely happening, and we could see the whole roster completely switch up in order to land stars of this caliber. So we could see Steph Curry stay the same, but everyone else in that roster is definitely tradable at this time. Another name that has definitely also been mentioned is none other than Jimmy Butler. Now, as you all know, Jimmy Butler is a fantastic player, and last season he did a great job for none other than the Miami Heat, where he actually averaged 20.8 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 3.6 assists. So he did a fantastic job for Miami Heat, but just like, Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks, he wasn't able to perform to the caliber and be able to lift his team to another NBA championship, or his first NBA championship. Now, when it comes to Jimmy Butler, we do know that he has made it to the finals twice, and he wasn't able to get over the hump to beat those teams. So now seems like a perfect opportunity with Jimmy Butler on his way out when it comes to him being 35 years old. He definitely only has a couple of years less in his peak. So it does seem that the Golden State Warriors should make a move on Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler is looking to win an NBA championship ASAP.